Can the Bengals pull off a stunner against the powerhouse Lions? Mike Petraglia inside Paycor Stadium. It is going to be a hot one here in downtown Cincinnati. We're expecting game time temperatures of about 82 degrees. Not much wind to speak of, and no precipitation in the forecast for the 4:25 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff between the 3-1 Lions and the 2-2 Bengals. We all know the story of the last 2 weeks for the Bengals. Non-competitive. They've been embarrassed. They haven't been able to get their offense in gear, and because of that, they've worn down the defense very rapidly. And Zach Taylor mentioning this on Wednesday and again on Friday, saying if that doesn't change, then we are not going to give ourselves much of a chance to win this game. But of course, Zach Taylor, being the eternal optimist, which he gets paid to do along with coaching the team, he believes that the offense can finally get it in gear against this Detroit Lions defense. This Lions defense, the Bengals very familiar with in the middle of it anyway. DJ Reader coming back for the first time to Cincinnati as a member of the Lions. He'll be the starting nose tackle, of course, one of the best run stoppers in the National Football League. Aiden Hutchinson will also be in uniform, and he will wreak havoc, if you allow him to, on the passing game. So what's the key for this game? The Bengals have to play better in the offensive trenches. Their offensive line has to be better. Could Jalen Rivers, who got his first NFL start on Monday night in Denver, could he improve his play from his first start to his second start? He wasn't terrible on Monday night, according to a few of the people inside the building that I spoke to. He held his own, but again, holding your own and being just average or just okay is not good enough, especially against a Super Bowl caliber team like the Detroit Lions, who are coming into this game having gone on a 3-game winning streak. They lost their opener at Green Bay, then they blew out the Chicago Bears at home. Of course, they won last week against the Cleveland Browns by a score of 34-10 against a very good defense. The Lions have been averaging 40 points a game in their last 3 games. They are capable of striking at a moment's notice. So the Bengals want to keep their defense off the field as much as possible, shorten this game as much as possible, much in the same way that the Baltimore Ravens with their running attack have been able to do over the last several years. Zach Taylor often mentions that as one of the keys to the Ravens having success against the Bengals. Well, now the Bengals need to flip the table a bit, but the problem is the Bengals have been atrocious running the ball this year. They are dead last in the National Football League, averaging just 49 yards a game net in total for the run attack. Now, some of that, of course, is because they've been down badly in the last couple of games, but still, you cannot average 2.4 yards a carry if you're Chase Brown and expect to compete against a team like the Detroit Lions. They'll get off the field 3 and out, and they'll put their offense on the field with Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and of course Jamison Williams, not to mention David Montgomery, the Mount Healthy High School product who returns home this weekend to play the Bengals. Of course, Jahmyr Gibbs. You can tell that the Lions have weapons upon weapons upon weapons. And then at tight end, you're talking about Sam Laporta, somebody that Zach Taylor has always held in very, very high regard. So the Lions are stacked. Dan Campbell has the Lions playing very well. This could be a trap game for the Lions, but I wouldn't expect a team coached by Dan Campbell to have that kind of mentality anyway. They could make some mistakes, and again, creating mistakes by Jared Goff is one way that the Bengals can stay in this game. They are 10-point underdogs, vast underdogs, and there's a reason for that. Again, the Bengals have been non-competitive in their last couple of games. They've been outscored 55-6 in the first half of the last 2 games. Obviously, the Bengals need to turn that around if they are going to have any chance whatsoever, even on their home turf. Again, it's going to be a hot one here inside Paycor Stadium. 82 degrees, not much chance of wind playing a factor, and no chance of precipitation. As always, we'll have you covered on the X at Trags, Trags. Be sure to check out my preview, CLNSCincy with a Y.com. And as always, check out the Jungle Roar Bengals postgame podcast, the wrap-up with myself and Richard Skinner of Local12.com. Be sure to check that out on youtube.com/JungleRoarPod. Inside Paycor Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.